Yeah, so as I said, just make sure you're comfortable. If you want to sit on a cushion so that your hips are higher than your knees, that's quite nice. Or if you want to kneel and sit on a block or a book, go ahead and do that. So, as you probably know, we've moved up through the chakras. Now we come to anahata, so the fourth chakra in the heart centre. And this idea then that it's really the middle point between the lower and the upper chakras. So taking the Nadi Shodhana pranayama as well is very much a balancing pranayama, very good for reducing anxiety, great before bed. It's a really nice one. And actually at the end of your practice it's a really nice one to do as well. But we're going to start with it today, just really because if we start by coming back to the centre using the breath on its own, for many of us that can be really helpful as we then move through the physical practice. So again, just taking the elements apart a little bit so that it's not so overwhelming to think about at once. And the idea as well with the anahata chakra that it's very much about integrating, so it's that up, down, down, up, depending on how you look at it, inside, outside, self, other, everything with how we relate in the world, masculine, the feminine, the mind, the body, and really at the centre of ourself is the heart centre. There's quite a lot you can read about that now, about the gut-brain-heart axis, so lots of us know about the gut-brain axis, but also the unique electrical nature of the heart and how it's influenced by the bottom and the top, as it were, of the gut and the brain. And in our physical practice, really we're cultivating this quality of openness, expansion and softness. There's very much a softening and an opening so we can breathe, so we can bring ourselves into balance. So we work very much on opening the chest and the shoulders, as well as using some of those asanas that we've used in the last 3 classes, those grounding asanas, so that we draw strength up from the ground to be able to be soft. So it's not about just, oh well, everything's fine, being a walkover, I'll just let all this stuff happen to me. We have our strong roots, and from that we're able to soften judgment of ourselves and therefore others. But it doesn't mean that you don't, as I say, you're not a doormat, but it's just much more about our reactions. And just now, when we're at home in this micro bubble of facing ourselves and our nearest and dearest, maybe, or just being with ourselves, we're really up against that, and being able to soften and just, give things space, know when to leave something and when to come back to that kind of soft, balancing breath is more relevant than ever, perhaps. Just let Claire in, and again, that sense that when you are able to be a little bit more open-hearted, a little bit more self-compassionate to yourself, you can extend it to others without an expectation or a reward or a judgment in any way. So the famous quote from Rumi is that your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you've built against it. And that quote comes up a lot in many yoga memes and things that you see on the internet. But really it's just thinking about just that, like what are our expectations, what's hurt us before, what's let us down before, and being able to soften all that stuff and come back much more to that ongoing centre, not relying on others to make us happy, which is so much easier said than done. And less need to be filled by other people. And just now, we're having to rely on our own resources a lot more, aren't we? But there's still those little places that obviously we need to tap into. We need energy from other people, and that's why we come to practice together, to share that energy and that finding of love everywhere and just building our resilience. So that's quite a lot of information. But this is a meeting point, as I said, of the bottom and the top. So as we move up, this will come into play more and more, and we'll recap on all of these areas each week. Okay? Let's just come out of the thinking and the reasoning now and into breathing. So Nadi Shodhana is the alternate nostril breath. If you want, and it feels a bit much and you feel a bit drowny with your breath, if you're a bit hay fevery, just imagine the breath through one side and the other. That can be a really, really useful tool in its own right. Otherwise, we're going to take the right hand. You can press the index and middle finger on your brow centre there, or tuck them in. I like to press mine there because I find it quite comforting. It might make you feel claustrophobic, so just see what works for you. We'll do 5 complete rounds. So keeping the hand ready, your thumb will seal off your right nostril, your ring finger will seal off your left nostril. And first let's just synchronise our breath. So inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, seal off your left nostril, exhale right, inhale right, 3, 2, 1, seal off your right nostril, exhale left, 3, 2, 1, inhale left, 3, 2, 1, seal off left, exhale right, 3, 2, 1, inhale right, 3, 2, 1, seal off, exhale left, 3, 2, 1, inhale left, 3, 2, 1, seal off, exhale right, 3, 2, 1, inhale right, 3, 2, 1, seal off, exhale left, 3, 2, 1, inhale left, 3, 2, 1, seal off, exhale right, 3, 2, 1, inhale right, 3, 2, 1, seal off, exhale left, 3, 2, 1, inhale left, 3, 2, 1, seal off, exhale right, 3, 2, 1, inhale right, 3, 2, 1, seal off, exhale left, 3, 2, 1, inhale left, 3, 2, 1, seal off, exhale right, 3, 2, 1, inhale right, 3, 2, 1, seal off, exhale left, 3, 2, 1, last one, inhaling left, 2, 1, seal off, exhale right, 3, 2, 1. And then just bringing your hands down, inhaling through both nostrils, and exhaling through both nostrils. Again, inhaling through both, exhaling. Great, and then just roll yourself forwards or spin yourselves to the side. We're going to start with cat-cow, so just moving into opening the chest and the shoulders a little bit. So you might want to slip off any socks or jumpers now. Spread the fingers loads, ground down through the first finger knuckles, and just feel that you've got a really nice firm base, so knees under hips. And just notice you can broaden your collarbones a little bit, so you feel you've got that lovely four-pointed roots to the ground. Lovely. As you next inhale, tip the tail, start to reach each vertebrae forwards and up. Gaze comes up last. Exhale again, begin with the tail. Suck it all the way under, rounding vertebrae by vertebrae, let the head go. Starting with the tail again, inhale coming all the way forwards, vertebrae by vertebrae, gaze comes up last. Exhale, starting with the tail, drawing it in and up. This time, start with the chest, so the gaze will lift first, broaden the collarbones, soften the back of the heart, bring it forwards, then the low back, then the tail lifts. And curl in reverse, so chin tucks, press the mat away, this is harder, press the back of the heart to the sky, then the low back curves, then the tail curls. Good, again, start by leading with the chest, so gaze will lift, broaden the collarbones, soften forwards, tail lifts, and then rounding in, pressing the back of the heart to the ceiling, then the low back, then the tail. downward facing dog. And have a little pedal through the feet. Look towards your knees or your belly button. Really reach the chest to the thighs. And just notice if you can really breathe fully and evenly in and out through the nose here. Finding that balance through the centre. Lovely. And then from here, look to your hands, and as you breathe in, walk the feet forwards. Keep the feet hip distance and fold. Again, bend the knees as much as you need to let the spine pull forwards. Let the head hang. Give it a little shake out. So just releasing the neck. Maybe give the shoulders a little wriggle. Good. And then from here, bend the knees a little more. Start to lay the belly on the thighs. Reach the heart forwards. Then press the hands towards your shins or your knees. And really open the chest forward. So a tabletop or a little halfway lift there. And then exhale, fold. Press the hands down in front of your feet. Really let the head come in. Again, inhale. See if you can think about rippling the upper back forwards to lift your gaze. And then step the left leg back and lower the knee for a crescent lunge. Just walk the fingertips back a little bit. So again, if you struggle with lunges, if your hips feel tight, if you've got your blocks handy, you can use those either side of you. And it can be really nice to practice it like that, to take any strain out of the wrists and really draw the sides of the waist long. Think about lifting the chest. Really depends on proportions as well. If you could do that easily with your fingertips, it's probably less faff. Stay here and breathe for a moment. Really think about lengthening up through the sides of the waist, reaching the heart forwards. Breathing in once more. Breathing out. Good, and from here, press into your hands, curl the tail under, step back, plank. We're not doing loads of vinyasa today. Lower knees. As you lower the chest, really squeeze the elbows to the sides of the body. Chest lowers first. Inhale, peel open. So again, really think about belly button lifting, then mid-back, then broadening the chest. Exhale to downward facing dog, rippling back the other way. So bringing in those spinal waves from last week. Inhale, walk the feet forwards. Exhale, fold. Really softening here. Inhale, ripple the heart forwards. Wave through the spine. Exhale, step the right leg back and lower your knee. And again, if you want your blocks, take your blocks. And spend a bit of time and attention here, really lengthening the side waist, drawing the back of the heart forwards, feeling that you can breathe into the sides of the ribs, whilst keeping that little bit of tone through the low belly, drawing the tail down towards the ground. Good, last breath here, inhale. Exhale again, stepping back to a plank or all fours. If you're stepping back to plank, make sure you don't lift one wrist up. Use that Manipura navel to spine. And then lower knees, chest, chin. So really squeeze the elbows alongside the ribs as you lower. Inhale, roll the heart open into a little cobra. Exhale, ripple it back to downward facing dog. One breath here, inhale. Exhale, good. Walk the feet to your hands, breathe in. Little tabletop again here, hands compressed to knees. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees loads and roll all the way up to stand. Press the feet into the ground, let the head be heavy. And find Namaste. Lovely, just taking one breath here, inhaling. Exhaling. We're going to step back to warrior one from here. So step your left foot back and feel that the heels are roughly aligned, but you're not on a tight rope with the feet. So you can draw your left hip forwards and feel really grounded and balanced. Bending into your right knee, press down into the ground, draw the tail under. And then from here, keeping your hands on your hip bones, keep them drawing forwards. And then see if you can lift the sides of the ribs a little and lift the back of the heart. Then sweep the arms out, inhale, press the palms up, look to your thumbs and reach from the back of the heart even more to draw the fingertips to the sky, look to your thumbs. So you feel that as you press down into the legs, you can extend the spine and the back of the heart up. Good. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, bring the arms, open them out to the side. Down by your hips, then interlace the fingers behind your back. Again, take your time here to really squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift the back of the heart up a little. Then reach the hands away from your low back, coming into a humble warrior. So again, belly can come to thighs. So again, there's no hard edges. We're softening into it gradually from that firm foundation in the feet. You can let the arms come as far over as they want. Breathing in, keep drawing the right thigh back into the right hip. Exhale, good. Bring the hands to your low back, lift the gaze. Inhale. Exhale there, bring the hands either side of your right foot. Press back through your runner's lunge to a plank or all fours. If you need to modify for any reason, come to your forearms. Chaturanga up dog if you wish, or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, rolling the heart forwards. Exhale, downward facing dog. One breath. Inhale. Exhale. Walk your feet forwards to your hands. Fold over your legs. Bend the knees, roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. As you come up, keeping the knees bent, send the tail back and the heart forwards, again like we did last week. Don't worry if you weren't here, just do this anyway. And then exhale, hands all the way down through heart centre. Good. I'll step back to warrior one with the right foot. So again, making sure your hips are parallel. Draw your right hip forwards a little bit. And then sink down into the front leg. So when I say sink, again, it's not collapsing, it's a conscious pressure down. And from there, you can extend the spine a little taller. Then start to bring it into a little back bend. Back of the heart reaches to the sky as you bring the arms up. Look to your thumbs, breathe in. Breathe out. Twice more, inhale. Exhale. Good, inhale. Exhale. Actually can't count to 3. Let's just do one more. I've lost count. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands behind you. Interlace the fingers. Again, really squeeze the shoulder blades together so you can draw the heart forwards, lift the gaze, and then exhale to humble warrior. Lay belly over thighs, let the arms come overhead. Let your neck relax. And again, use the pressing up from the ground with the feet to give you stability. Draw the left thigh into the left hip socket. Breathing in. Don't forget about your back leg. Pull up on the right kneecap. Exhale. Good. Lift the gaze. Hands come to the low back as you breathe in. Exhale, press the hands back beside your feet and step to a runner's lunge. Take another breath in here to step the legs back. And then if you want to take chaturanga, go ahead. So lowering through that halfway push-up. Inhaling through upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Again, one breath. Inhale. Exhale, look to your hands, step your feet forwards, breathing in, little halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, roll the spine up, so curling in, then send the tail back as you come towards standing, bring the arms out, reach them up, and exhale, Samastiti. Good. So, if you have your strap handy, grab it now. If you haven't got a strap, don't worry, it's not the end of the world, you can actually do it without. Like I said, I can't find any of my straps, so I'm going to use my jumper. So, you're just going to hold on to your strap, jumper, scarf, whatever you have, slightly wider than shoulder distance, and in reality, as we start to move through this, you're probably going to go wider. So I'm going to start pretty wide actually. I'm going to work into opening the shoulders a little bit here. So, try not to let your fabric strap sag. We're going to reach the arms forwards, breathe in, bring the arms all the way overhead, and see if you can start to bring them back behind you. So soften the knees, keep the tail a little bit drawn under, and then find that point where you're like, ooh. And then that's going to be when your elbows are going to want to bend. in which case slide the arms a bit wider on your strap or your scarf and see if you can bring them all the way down behind you. Good. And then we'll bring it back the other way. So one shoulder normally wants to compensate here. Just notice. Good. And bring it all the way back forwards. Good. Let's go again. So one thing I've noticed just from being at home a little bit more is how tight, for some reason, my chest muscles are. And maybe that's a little bit, you know, anxiety about what's happening in the world and feeling out of control. So one thing about heart opening is the element of fearlessness and releasing that anxiety. So just noticing that, not feeling you have to do anything about it. Good. And just be easy. If there's any crunching or grinding, take care and have a rest if you need. We're just going to do, well, two more, so this one and then another. And just notice again the stretches, the edges around the stretch softening as you move through these, hopefully. Good. Last one, bringing it back and over. Keep your ground. Pull away, reach the chest open without letting it all hang out in the belly. I love to do that, by the way, so I'm not talking to anyone in particular. It's a reminder to myself. Good, bring the arms down. Lovely, give the shoulders a roll. Just chuck your strap or whatever down. And then just make little half moons with your head here. So sometimes you might notice that there's a lot of tension around the sides of the neck as you do that as well, where those muscles will try and take over. Or just that maybe there's just a bit of tightness there if you didn't sleep well. Good. Give the shoulders one more roll. Lovely. And then we'll step back to the top of the mat. So we're going to take a little flow down to the mat. You can make this really, really soft and ripply like before. So bend the knees, send the tail back, let the chest come forwards. Then stretch tall. Then exhale, roll it down, bend the knees. Let the head come in. Inhale, wrinkle the spine halfway. Remember, you can bring your hands up on your legs to do this if you wish. Exhale, forward. Step back to a plank or all fours. Lower knees, chest, chin. Forearms for those of you that need it. All the way down. Lovely. Inhale, roll it to little cobra. Exhale, back to child's pose. We're going to stay in child's pose with the arms extended. So, extended child's pose, in fact. Have a little wriggle side to side in your hips. Just let the head release on the ground for a moment. Take one more breath there. And then roll it up to sitting. So again, you might want your strap for Gomukhasana. We're just going to take the arms here. So a block can be nice to sit on. I actually really like to practice this sitting on a block because I feel it helps me not to overarch my lumbar spine and takes the pressure out of your knees. So you're going to take as many blocks as you need, in fact. To sit nice and tall. If you are really comfy sitting between your heels, go ahead, or sitting on your heels, that's fine. And then just give your shoulders one little roll again and let the hands rest on your lap. Draw the low ribs in, so pay attention to that. We want to keep the centre nice and firm there. Oh, don't know what happened there. And then bring your right arm up so that the palm faces forwards. And then slide it down your back. Oh, that was odd. I don't know what happened there. Sorry. Let's start that again, shall we? Wait, let me see you all either. There. Right. So you're bringing your right palm down your back, so palm faces all the way back as much as you can, slide it between your shoulder blades, and then get hold of the elbow and give that a really good stretch. So really going to take our time here to open and notice where there's little bits of tightness around the shoulders. So it might be that your head feels like it's dipping in, or it might be that you feel like you want to flare the lumbar spine back. So try and feel that sense of neutral spine, drawing the elbow up. Excuse the bruises on the back of my arms, by the way. They're terrible. Crash landing. And then bring the other arm out to the side, rotate it as far in as you can, all the way across on the diagonal behind you. Then bend the elbow to bring it up. And this is where you might want your strap. You can also just hold on to your clothes and give it a little wriggle in. If you can reach fingertips, fine. And many of you will already know with this posture that you have one side that is quite happy about it and the other side feels really tight. So just breathing into that. And again here, as we said, the low ribs are drawing in a little bit, low belly a little bit, so that you can extend right between the shoulder blades, so really that back of heart area to open across the shoulders and the chest there. So consciously do that, almost like the hand, the left hand here, could press into that upper back there and lift your chest. Just take one more breath there. Good. And then release your arms out to the side, give them a little roll around, a little wriggle. And then we'll take the other side. So left palm comes up, turn it as far back as you can. So it's a big external rotation, all the way between your shoulder blades. And then the right arm's going to spiral in as much as you can as well internally, and bring it behind you, snuggling up. Taking the strap or your shirt, and actually don't stress too much about getting the fingers to meet, more just think about keeping it softly active, so you're constantly reaching that top elbow up, pressing the right hand a little bit in to think about lifting the heart up there. And then notice if you want to let the belly go and let the lumbar spine kind of collapse, draw it in a little bit. So again, there's that sense of the lower chakras rooting down firmly, so you can lift and extend through the upper area, upper spine. Good. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Unwind everything. Give it a little wiggly wiggly. Lovely. And then just remove your block, or step it back to all fours, and then extend it back to child's pose again. Have a little soften there. And it might feel quite nice to turn your palms up and just allow the armpits to kind of stretch out a little bit around the sides there. And we're going to come to puppy pose, or anahata, which is actually a really big shoulder opener. So it could be nice for you to have a block to rest your head on when you get there, so that you don't feel strain. Sometimes though that can actually just feel like it's claustrophobic and in the way. So have a little try. If you need to come out of it and come back in, that's fine. So we're going to make our way onto the forearms from all fours. Start to soften the back of the heart in the same area that we were just thinking about in the last posture. So you're really thinking about that little softening back of the heart. It might be for you that the chest and the chin come down. It can feel very, very tight and not nice to do that. So in which case, just come out of it a little bit, drop the forearms, and just allow that little bit of opening to happen more gradually. Don't feel that you've got to soften the entire chest down. Go easy there. It can feel, really intense, this, so just breathing, come in and out of it as you need. Lovely. Let's take one more breath there. Exhale. Good. Shift the weight forwards a little bit, come back into the forearms, pad the hands back nice and slow. So we're still in all fours. If you need padding for your knees, please take it. We're going to wrap the right arm all the way under in a thread needle, so stretching out a little bit more across the back now. Wrapping the right shoulder under as much as you can. Notice if the hips want to go askew. Again, feel the firmness and support of the lower belly. Tiptoe the left fingers ahead of you, and then see if you can roll the right ribs under even more. Just let the head be heavy on the ground here. And really think about breathing deeply into the right side of the ribs here, and rolling the left armpit to the sky. Breathing in. Breathing out. 2 more. Inhale. Really wrapping that right shoulder under even more if you can, if it feels good. Don't force, of course. Breathing in. And out. Good. Walk the left fingertips back down. Unwind. I think it's quite nice to take one little cat-cow in the middle. The right side will feel really stretchy compared to the left. And then we'll go the other way. So wrapping that left arm all the way under, really snuggling it around ribs. And then bring the right fingertips overhead. Same thing, really opening the right armpit to the sky there. Let your head be heavy. Just notice if you want to create tension in the neck there. So just let the chin be, neutrally lifted. Try not to duck it in or under too much. And then breathing into that left side. Again, just noticing any tightness in one side or the other. Full inhale and exhale, in and out through the nose. Good. And then slowly bringing your right hand back in. Breathe in, unwind everything. And take a little cat-cow. And then sit back in child's pose. And let the hands come back alongside your hips. Just rest completely for a moment there. Good. And then press into the hands that come to downward facing dog. And notice if in your downward facing dog now, from that real firm grounding in the fingers, can you bend your elbows a little? Wrap the upper arms forwards and then reach the chest back to the thighs. Keep the low belly a little bit lifted. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good. Lower to all fours as you exhale. Now, this always confuses me, so bear with me. You're going to spin your right leg parallel with the top edge of your mat. Yes, so the right hand will stay down, the left foot will press out to the side. And then again, you might want a block, so actually if you think that it's going to be useful for you to have a block here, just grab that and then come back into it. So we're going to be in a little variation of gate pose. And like we did the other week, we're going to make those half moves, we're going to go the other way. So we're going to start by lifting the left arm up and over, really lengthening through the left side. And then sweeping it forwards and around, and then opening up and over, and around. So just notice if your shoulder wants to crunch a little bit. See if you can find a way to use the muscles in your back to avoid any crunching around the socket, so you're rolling it around. Lovely. One more. And again, if you don't want the block, you can have your fingertips on the floor. And you might find that after a couple of rounds you can do that. There's my shoulder crunching. Did you hear that? Inhale, lengthening it over. Good. And then this time we're going to spin it all the way forwards, back to all fours, and roll it into downward facing dog. Just pedal out your knees, give your knees a break. If you need padding for your left knee as we come down this side, take it as you come down. So again, we'll roll down to all fours. You can have your block, you can have padding under your knee. Spin your left foot the other way, so you're going to face to the back and ground your right foot down. That's it. And then the right arm's going to come up and over, sweeping over, roll it around. So like you're making big circles here, what you are, with your arm. Sweeping it open. Good, just do two more. Again, just noticing any difference between sides, any stickiness, just breathing into that, creating softness and space. Lovely, and again, when you've done your last one, sweep it back to all fours, tuck the toes, and just pedal out a little in down dog. Breathing in. And breathing out. From here, it's your choice. You can roll forwards to plank and take a vinyasa, or you can come to all fours and lower chest chin and roll it through your vinyasa. So you're either rolling it to a plank or to all fours, either are good. Knees, chest, chin. I said we weren't doing many vinyasas, there's still quite a few. Rolling the spine forwards, but it's more about just moving your spine and making space, and then sit back in child's pose. Good. And then from child's pose, we're going to slide forwards in our forearms to Sphinx. So from here, you can just come all the way forwards, worm forwards on your belly, and have the forearms parallel here. So make sure that you've got enough space here to lift your chest. So the elbows are directly under your shoulders. And then energize the legs, so squeeze up on the kneecaps a little bit. Draw the tail under. So again, we've got that, the root chakra there, Muladhara, sorry. And then Svadhisthana and Manipura drawing up. Also known as your Mula and Uddiyana Bandha. It's the same stuff. We're lifting up, and then from that place we can open and lift the chest. So avoid strain in the jaw. Just notice if you're clenching your teeth, soften the tongue in the mouth. And just let the gaze lift a little. And again, just feel that you can breathe fully around the ribs here. Breathing in once more. Breathing out, last one. Inhale. Exhale, ripple yourself all the way to your mat. Bring the hands back under your shoulders and roll into a cobra again. So roll it forwards, inhaling. Exhale, lower it down. Tuck the toes again, press back through child's. Exhale there. Roll yourself all the way up to kneeling. And then just spin your legs to the side and extend them straight forwards. So we're going to take a little bit more of, or just a different variation of the same shape. You might want to block here. In fact, let's just all do it with a block. If you haven't got one and you know the active version of this posture, which I'll show you. So we're taking Matsyasana. So you're very welcome to do the active one, which is holding onto the legs here, pressing into the elbows, lift the chest. So remember, vampire from a coffin, chest lifts first, and then the head can come back. If you can't get your head down, your elbows are too high, so you need to lower the arms more towards your hips. Okay? So you can always take an active one for 5 breaths, and then roll down, and then take the restorative one as well. If you don't want to do the active one, we'll just come to the restorative. I'll keep an eye on what you're doing. So you can have it on the high facet, the thin facet, or the low one. You can also have your rolled up blanket if you prefer. You're going to put it near your mid-back, or in your mid-back, so it's below your shoulders but above your waist. And then you're just going to allow the block to support you here as you bring the arms down by your sides. So for some of you that are used to this shape, you may find that you can have it on a thinner facet if you have a block, or if you have a book or something and you've got a blanket over it to give you a bit more height. That can feel nice. It can also make you feel a bit anxious in the throat, like it's hard to let go. So you can always pop a cushion under your head just to give you a bit of space there. As you see, I can't really see what you're all doing. But remember, it's not in your lower back, it's at bra strap level. If you don't wear bras, use your imagination. For men in the virtual room. Yeah, that's it, Helen. Yeah. And then allow the palms to spiral up, and then the head is reaching back, so almost the crown of the head going towards the ground. And in fact, if you can do that greater extension, go ahead and take that. Good, that looks good, Jade. Lovely, everyone. Yeah. And if you're lucky, you've got a dog giving you toys. Oh. Okay, great. And if I can't see you, if it doesn't feel good, basically come out. We want to just cultivate again that sense of being able to breathe into the chest. We'll just stay for 3 more breaths. You might feel more aware of the breath in the chest and the throat here. And when you're ready to come out of it, press into your elbows. On the exhale, draw navel to spine, lift chin to chest. Lift up, and then just remove whatever props you have and come to laying down. And then just give the knees a little hug into the chest. Good. And then from here, we're going to rock and roll up to sit. So you don't have to do this, you can roll to one side if you don't feel so inclined, but we're going to come to some more upright postures again. So we're just going to bring the energy up a little bit by rocking and rolling. And then come to balance, hold it. Good. And then just gently pop the feet down. Again, spin the legs to one side and we'll come to kneeling. So take anything that you might need behind your knees. If your knees are bothering you, you can always shove your blanket behind your knees, like so, to give them a little bit of space. That can feel really nice. take the pressure out of the knees. Otherwise you can sit on your blocks if you need that height, take that. And we're all going to walk the fingertips back. So if you struggle, and if some of you do struggle to be here and reach the hands back, just stay upright, bring the hands to your lower back and lift the chest here, okay? So Irene, that's probably a good option for you. Otherwise we're going to walk the fingertips back, fan the toes into the ground, so press them down, and then start to again squeeze the upper arms together, and squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the back of the chest there, press into the hands, that's my guinea pigs, and then lift the hips up. Lift up, lift up, lift up. And then you can just keep the chin a little bit tucked if that feels better on your head, or you can let the head go. Keep lifting. See if you can use your breath here to keep that sense of ease and softness. If you need to come down, do. Otherwise we'll try and stay for 2 more breaths. Lift up. Last one, inhale. Exhale, release it down. Lovely. Come up, give the shoulders a roll, give the wrists a roll. And again, just come to child's pose. So bring the backs of the hands down and let the forehead rest. Give the shoulders a little wriggle again there if you need. So an option again here to take that little vinyasa sequence, or you can just stay in child's pose for a moment. Another option is just to take downward facing dog and then come back to child's pose. So from kneeling, if you wish, you can step back to plank, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga up dog. If you would like to just take down dog now, come to down dog now. And then again, we're going to come to kneeling. If you want to try a little jump to kneeling, if you're working with your jump throughs, you can. If you're not sure, just don't. I don't want you crashing on your knees. But if you've been working on this, you can bend the knees, take a little hop up and land. So Ustrasana, camel, so just come to kneeling. For lots of people it can make you feel quite a lot of compression in the low back, in which case you could revisit this shape again, or just don't go as deep. So if you want to roll your mat to give yourself a bit of extra padding for your knees, do, or put a blanket under there. The knees are hip distance apart, well actually slightly wider than hip distance, and then see if you can squeeze them back to roughly hip distance. There's that sense of being a little bit wide and then squeezing them back in. So for those of you that remember this, it's the James Brown get on up, which I'm not going to try and do because it's just, you know, the skin doesn't fit. So we're going to squeeze in and then tuck your toes. Start to bring your hands to your low back. And again, like we did at the beginning with our warriors, see if you can lift your chest here. So you've got that little bit of grounding in the hips and you're just lifting the chest. Imagine you've got to lift the chest up and over like a little shelf. Lift, lift, lift. If that feels good, start to walk the hands down your back a little bit and see if you can extend and lift the head back a little bit there. Or allow it back. And then just inhale, come up. Exhale, sit back and rest. And give the shoulders a roll. Give the neck a roll. So, as adults, for very good reasons, it can make us feel quite fearful to allow ourselves to go back and to be open. It's taken me about 5 years to feel okay about this. So I'm not expecting you to just do it today and feel okay about it. What we can do is start to soften and open and expand. And the more you can find the feeling of the chest lifting, the less you're going to feel it here. So we're lifting up. And then it's actually a really lovely, energizing feeling. So we're going to tuck the toes. If you want to stay with the last variation hands here, it's absolutely fine. Just keep getting used to breathing and opening there. Or we're going to go a little bit further. So have a look if you're not sure. Again, James Brown the legs in. Lift the chest. Roll the shoulders back. And then see if you can start to reach back for your ankles. Don't twist. Just trust your legs to squeeze and hold you, to let go of your hips and lift and extend from there. Little baby camel there. To come up, on the exhale, squeeze the legs some more, use a little rock back and a drive up and forwards. And then again, come to kneeling, give the shoulders a roll, have a little rest. Good. If back, you can go for it and have the toes untucked. Again, I'll just show you what that looks like. So keep the legs grounded, allow the chest to lift up, let the arms soften back. Drive the hips a little bit forwards as you come back, and then from that little pressure down on your feet, you're lifting the chest up and allowing the gaze to come back. Keep the hips forwards so you don't lose the back bend. Again, to come out of it, little rock forwards and back, and then you can lift up and out of it. Okay? Have a little go. I'm just going to keep an eye on what you're doing. And if you had enough of this, just have a break for a minute and try again. So keep that sense of drawing the tail down a little bit. Lovely, really nice. And then once you've got your feet, you can press down into the ground again to lift the back of the heart up. Good. Keep the strength in the belly. Great, a little impulse to come up. And then come to child's pose. And if your knees are feeling tired, you can just collapse on your belly for a minute if you like. That's fine too. Good, well done. And then from here, we'll again step it back to all fours or plank. And actually, I think it's really nice to take a little flow of some kind here. So you can take cat-cow if you're feeling tired in the wrists. Or we're going to take knees, chest, chin. Inhale, roll it forwards. Exhale to downward facing dog. And just bring a bit of length through the low back. Take one more breath in downward facing dog. Bring close the door, please. Get daddy. And then from here, we're going to come to sit. So if you want to do a little jump through, you can. Or you can just bend the knees and come through child's pose to sit. And in Dandasana, press the hands down by the sides of the hips. Again, just reconnecting to earth after that very opening posture. Good. And then bend the knees, so we'll just counter those back bends a little bit with a forward fold. So tip the tail back, belly comes to thighs. Again, really soft. Take hold of the big toes with your peace fingers and let the head curl in. You can keep the knees nice and bent here. Just allow the back line of the body to soften forwards. And then if it feels like the legs want to drive away and to straighten, go ahead, but don't worry too much about depth. More just feeling that release and length through the back line of the body more evenly. Breathing into the sides of the ribs. 3 more breaths there. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Bend the knees a little bit as you roll up. And exhale there. And then we'll hug the right knee into the chest. Bring it over your left leg. And then if it feels good, hook the left leg in. If it doesn't, just keep it extended. And then right hand's coming behind you. Inhale again. Think about lifting the back of the heart up, and then exhale, wrap your left shoulder over the right knee for Ardha Matsyasana variation. So the full pose is to bring the right hand to your right foot, left hand to your right foot, and the right hand wraps around to catch your toes behind you, but you don't have to go that deep, it can be here, just so you know. Taking a modification. Breathing in. And out. Good. Again on the inhale, think about this kind of blossoming, as my teacher calls it, of the upper back. It's like softly lifting up. Exhale, rotating. And I guess by blossoming, again, there's lightness, there's softness. It's not just lovely flowery yoga language. Well, it is. But and then we'll slowly rotate the other way. It's a good description. Flip the legs straight forwards, and then left leg coming in, over your right leg. Give it a good hug. If it feels good to hook the right leg in, do. And then as you breathe in, bring the left hand behind you, extend up. As you breathe out, squeeze the right shoulder across. And then again, allowing that softness, that lightness, blossoming above the head so that you keep the twist lengthening up. But without forcing, just softness again. If you want to take the full little bind, you can. One more breath there. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Slowly releasing. Just take a little counter twist to your right. And extend the legs straight forwards. Again, option if you want to vinyasa. If you don't want to vinyasa, you could come to cross-legged. And again, you get the same extension and flexion by taking a cat-cow pattern here. Or step back plank. Lower. Knees stretch, chin or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing or cobra. Exhale, downward facing. And again, if you want to jump through, you can. Or just come to kneeling and to sitting in Dandasana. And then with control, we'll roll the spine down, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way to the mat. And take a full stretch, reach the arms overhead. And then exhale, soften the arms by the sides and bring the soles of the feet to the mat, ready for bridge pose. So again, options here. You can take your block and have a really nice supported bridge and think about lifting the chest. You can take an active bridge and then Urdhva Dhanurasana, the wheel, if you are working on that. So you can take what works for you today. So if you're coming to the supported bridge, again, you can use different facets on the block if you have a block. Different tower of cushions and books if you have those. Whatever you do, use the inhale to prepare and the exhale for bridge to roll up. The other way around for Urdhva Dhanurasana, we use the inhale to press up. If you're taking a block, you can lift the heels to help you get it into the right place on the sacrum there, on that nice flat base. For some of you, the block will be better this way, for some of you that way. It just really depends on your bone structure. And then once you feel nicely grounded there, arms are softening by the sides, draw the shoulders down and together again with the upper arms, chin away from chest, and then lifting the chest a little. Again, just with softness. And then feel very aware of your breath in your chest here. Just allowing the breath to be long and fine and even here. Expansive, just very naturally rising and falling. If you're in the supported version, you can stay here for another good few breaths. If you are in the active version without the block, roll yourself down, and if you would like to take Urdhva Dhanurasana, go ahead. If you're working in Urdhva Dhanurasana and feel tight in the shoulders, today's a really good day to have a go at it because we've done lots of shoulder opening. So you might just feel that you've got that bit more space to press up. So Katie, I'm thinking of you. So have a try if you would like to. Press up into wheel. You'll bring the hands behind the shoulders and drive up. So again, you have the legs set up, ready to go. Bringing the arms overhead, fingertips back towards the shoulders, and then lift up. And again, you're really thinking about drawing the chest towards the wall behind you. Really allowing the ribcage to expand. Got that firm grounding in the legs without squeezing and holding onto the glutes too much. When you're ready to come down, chest to chin. And curl the spine down, give the knees a hug. Lovely. Yes. Good, Katie. Lovely. And then, if you're still in your supported bridge, use a breath in to lift the hips a little, remove the block and roll it down. And then wherever you are, just taking a good hug of the knees and a roll around, as you all are naturally anyway, beautifully. Well done. And then very slowly, roll yourself to one side bend the knees, tip the tail forwards, back, bringing the chest forwards first, and allow the collarbones to be broad as you fold here. Just stay for 4 more breaths there, inhaling, exhaling, thinking about lengthening forwards with the heart centre. Avoid any strain or tension in the jaw. Just let the head be heavy, neck relax. Good. Last breath. And as you roll yourself up to sit, use an inhale. And then just soften there. Great. So we're going to take a bit of a supported Shavasana. So if you have a bolster, you can take a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, that's fine. Grab cushions, pillows, blocks. But essentially what we're going to do is make ourselves a little prop up position. So you can use a combination of blocks and books and blankets to make yourself a little tower, so that you're essentially just like supported in a very soft back bend. So your hips will be on the floor wherever you are, and then the arms can open up, and then you've got this lovely softening and opening of the chest, but we're really resting here. And then make sure you have your blanket so you can cover yourself with your blanket to stay warm. So I might just join you in this. And we'll stay here for a good 3 minutes. So we'll just run over a couple of minutes past 10:30. So if you do need to go, give yourself a couple of minutes and then come out of it slowly. Otherwise, enjoy. Cover yourself. Make your little nest. If you want to cover your eyes with a jumper or something, go ahead. And just try to drop straight into it now. And if you haven't really got your props sorted and it's irritating, don't worry, just come to laying down. The main thing is just to take rest. Even just a pillow under your head can be nice. Just make sure that you're warm and comfortable. It's nice to see this little prop up like this. It's one that you could just do, feeling tight across the shoulders, the neck, the chest. It's really lovely to have a bolster like this to open the body across. Really worth investing in, so that you can feel that you've got that the roundness of the bolster there. You really can allow the shoulders to roll back around it more evenly. So it's great for evening out any tension on one side or the other. And just coming back to that quiet watching of your breath. So again, if there's movement in the house where you are, allowing it to be there without having to react, just noticing it. Allowing yourself the time to rest, to soften, to be comfortable in your own skin, just as you are. As Dear Judith says, softening opens the gateway to the heart. So sometimes that can bring up many thoughts when we give ourselves space and we're quiet. So just allowing whatever is there to be there. Knowing that as you lay here now, you're cultivating that natural, quiet, loving centre. Just allowing your breath to create a sense of ease and comfort with whatever is there. creative ideas, things maybe you want to do, and that's fine too. Just knowing that when we take rest, we allow things to flourish and to maybe just go with what naturally comes up is sometimes hard to find the space to do that. Start to deepen the breath a little bit. Bring a little movement to your fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. And then gradually, maybe bring the soles of the feet to the mat first. And then pressing into the hands or the elbows, lift the head, and just gently ease yourself up to sitting. So don't rush to do that. Well done. Give the shoulders a little roll. Then just close the eyes for a moment, rock forwards and back on your sit bones, side to side. And then feel from that pressing down with the sit bones as a little energetic lift up through the low belly. And then the shoulders can draw back and down a little. And you can breathe fully into the side, front, back of the ribs. And extend above the crown of the head. And then just gently opening your eyes, staying with that long spine. Just bring the base of your hands together. And then, I don't know if you can see, but the little fingers and the thumbs. So this is a little lotus mudra, Padma mudra. So you're going to bring it from the bottom, lift it up as you inhale. Exhale, opening out to the side. You can sigh if you like. So I like this idea that lotuses grow up from the mud. So from the mud you draw up all the lovely stuff and exhale, surround yourself with it. Just do that once more. In